Alright. Hello, I'm here, I'm Red, and I'm reading today some entitled parents. Are you ready? Yeah? Okay, here we go! Revenge on my abusive mother. She never knew it was me responsible for the clink. This happened in 2004 when I was 14. A bit of backstory before I begin. My mother is not a good person. She was abusive verbally for most of my life until I was 14, when her abuse turned physical. Because of her abuse, I came up with creative ways to punish her in my own petty ways, like tampering with her food and dunking her toothbrush in the toilet every day. This story is one of my better petty revenges towards her, and the one that annoyed her the most. I talked to my friends about the things she did to me, and although I appreciated the advice to go to the police, I knew that wouldn't work. My mother is very convincing when she wants to be, and every other time I went to the police, they never believed me. One of my friends, who we'll call Tom, gave me a brilliant idea that would annoy her to no end, but wouldn't get me in trouble. His dad is a mechanic, so Tom knows his way around a car. After school that day, I went with him to his house. He showed me a place underneath the car, between the top of the front wheel and the side of the engine, and told me what to do. Bring on the pettiness. I had to wait a few days to enact my revenge, but the day finally arrived. My mother and my sister left the house to ride their horses, which gave me plenty of time to do what needed to be done. The next day, I went with my mum and sister to do grocery shopping, and I was elated to hear the product of my labor as the car started to drive down the driveway. Clink, clink, clink. Yes, I attached a rock to the end of a string inside the car that made a loud clink sound every few seconds when the car was moving.
What the heck is that?
No idea. Maybe you should get the mechanic to have a look at it. Remember how I said Tom's dad is a mechanic? Well, he's the only mechanic in the town we lived at. And Tom made sure to tell his dad about the things my mother did to me. Needless to say, he was on my side. So, after we'd done our shopping, we stopped at the mechanic so they could take a look and fix whatever needed fixing.
Hi there. Well, my car is making a weird noise when I'm driving. Can you look at it for me?
Sure thing. How about you take a seat inside and I'll give it a drive and see what the problem is. He got in the car and drove it around the block. When he returned, the noise had miraculously stopped. He charged my mum for the check and we went on our way, but not before Tom's dad subtly handed me the rock back and gave me a wink and a smile as I left. That night I put the rock back in place and left it to do its thing for the next day. And oh boy, was this satisfying. The next day, the noise was back, so my mum went back to the mechanic. But this time, the mechanic couldn't find anything wrong with it and couldn't hear any noise. I never bothered taking the rock out after that, and neither did the mechanic. He'd experienced her entitlement firsthand and had heard many stories from other people around the town about her. The rock wasn't damaging the car or affecting its performance, so there was nothing that needed fixing. I moved away to live with my dad when I was 16, but before I moved, the clink was still there, tormenting my mother every time she drove the car. I lost count of the number of times she took it back to the mechanic and the amount of money she spent on getting rid of the clink. Last time I saw my mother, I was 23, and she still has the same car. I'd expected the rock to have fallen out by then, but the car still has a clink, but not as loud. Thanks, Tom. Okie dokie, here's our next story. Entitled mother tries to stop me from swimming in a swim meet. Backstory. I swim competitively in a club. This club is like most other swim clubs in the country. We have meets against other teams and sometimes we have meets within the team. At the time of this story, I'm at a meet against a rival swim team, about to race. I was getting ready to swim, doing stretches, when the lady timing the lane, entitled mother, taps my shoulder.
Can you move a bit? My son is swimming next.
Sorry ma'am, I'm pretty sure I'm supposed to swim after the group in front finishes.
What do you mean? I'm sure you made a mistake. Please move to the side now.
Entitled mother shuffled to the side to reveal her son, who looked pretty young, or maybe just short. He was in the other team and looked kind of confused. How old is your son? I'm pretty sure he's supposed to swim in the other pool. The older kids were racing in a different pool than the younger kids.
I know for a fact that my son is supposed to swim in this pool, in this lane. Now please move.
Entitled mother's son started telling entitled mother that he thought that I was correct, but entitled mother waved him off. Ma'am, can you get the stopwatch ready? I'm swimming in like 20 seconds.
I think you mean that my son is about to swim. Now please move to the side. I want my son to get a good time.
The official blew his whistle and the swimmers in the other lanes got onto the starting blocks. When I began stepping on the blocks, Entitled Mother grabbed my wrist and pulled me back. What are you doing? I'm about to swim!
That's it.
Entitled Mother pulls me back and pushes her son up to the starting blocks. And before I could try and stop it, an official says, "Take your marks!" And I yell towards him, Wait a sec! The official put down his microphone and yelled, "Quiet down, son, a swim meet is going on," towards me. Plus 100 self-confidence for Entitled Mother. Another official ran up to us.
What's going on here?
This lady is trying to stop me from—
My son is trying to swim, but this spoiled brat here is trying to stop him.
The official looked at Entitled Mum's child on the starting blocks and calmly said,
Son, get down from there. You're supposed to swim in the other pool.
What do you mean? My son is supposed to swim next. What do you mean he's supposed to— The official waved her off and helped her son get off the blocks. He took the stopwatch from Entitled Mother.
You can go now, man. I can time this kid.
Entitled Mother angrily walks away, her son right behind her, running to get to the other pool. The official let me get up on the blocks and I finally swam my race. What a day. Oh God. You know, that's one of my biggest fears as a parent, is to turn out like this entitled mom. I'm hoping because I'm afraid of being like that, I won't be like that. Only time will tell. If you liked that r/entitled parents, then like the video as well. It's that thumbs up button. That's the one. Push that one. Good job. And while you're there, click the subscribe button as well and push the little bell thing next to it and make sure you get all the notifications because I publish videos every day. Thanks very much, guys. It's been a lovely time today, hasn't it? I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.